Hi friends, welcome back to Nessa's Nook. So the other day I did a grocery haul and I had picked up 3 of the rotisserie chickens from Sam's. Now down here I have some that's off the bones here. I have 2 lids full of bones, or of meat, and Heinz ate the other one because I bought that one for him. So I have my Rio pot here, and I had Heinz save the bones because my intentions was to actually cook up all these bones for a long time and then turn around and make some chicken broth from it, because you know, you might as well, you have the bones right here. If you have access to a crock pot or pressure cooker or whatever have you, that's just free. I mean, you know what I'm saying, you're just using a little bit of your water. I'll be using my reverse osmosis water. And then what I'm going to be doing with this is I'm going to be kind of like cubing up the chicken, and I'll be putting those in food saver bags and see how many meals I get out of that to be able to put in other meals when the chicken's already pre-cooked. So I'm going to go ahead and bring you down here and I'll show you what we're doing. Now we were supposed to have some of this chicken for dinner, but Mark's been under the weather. He's starting to feel a lot better now, but he had his wisdom tooth taken out today. So that's not going to happen. We're not going to be having just like regular meals that we normally would have. So I'm taking from the 2 that I have here, and I had my gloves on because I don't like deboning meat. That's just, even turkey dinner, you know, whatever's left in the turkey dinner, I'm not the super fan of deboning meat. So go ahead and throw Heinz in here too, and make sure that little, because I found it in mine, yeah, there's like a little rubber band on here, and I don't want to cook the rubber band. So what's going to happen is I'm going to go fill this up pretty full of water, because I'm going to go ahead and actually slow cook this for quite a few hours. And then what's going to happen is, yeah, you'll see me, I'll take all the bones out, we'll do that, and we'll pressure cook up the actual broth that's left over from this. And I'll be right back and I'll show you what I'm doing with the chicken. Alright, well that's taking a while with that water. I'm just going to go ahead and show you what my intentions are. I should have probably cut this in half. And this is something that I could easily freeze dry this. I can, you know, just put it in the bags, the food saver bags. I'm not for sure yet what I'm going to do with this. I mean, I have a couple minutes to figure that out, but I'm just going to go ahead and cut this in smaller pieces and do this to this whole batch of chicken. And anything I find that has the skin on it that I don't want in here, the skin and the bones go in the for the broth. So go ahead and we'll just keep cutting this up here, and I'll let you know what we end up, how many bags we end up, or whatever we're going to do with this, and show you what that looks like. And then the video will actually continue on showing you the canning process of this. Okay, the more I thought about it, and I had been talking about buying some meat and dicing it up to freeze and to have ready for meals. So why wouldn't I just flash freeze this? So that's my idea here. I'm probably going to need to get a second pan here. Yeah, I'm definitely going to need a second pan. But so what's going to happen is I will put this in the freezer to flash freeze. Because when I was looking on Gordon Food Services, when I was first thinking about this, because I wanted to make the jar of meals. So, I mean, that's quite a bit of meat, obviously, right there. And so what's going to happen is when I get done with this, I'll be putting this in containers to actually just grab, like, if I only want just a handful, it's already cooked, it's already, I can freeze dry this if I want to for meals in a jar. So I think this will be the best bet for this. So I'm going to go ahead and get another pan out for the rest of the chicken, and we'll flash freeze this, and then you'll see the results of that tomorrow too. Okay, we're back the next day. This has been cooking for about 20 hours, and you can see how nice and golden that is. So what I'll be doing is I'll be taking and dumping this into the sink, into a bowl, and get this done up. Alright, so I'm grabbing this out of the Rio here. It's really heavy. And go ahead and pour that in to the strainer. Get a little bit better grip here. It was so full I could hardly lift it. Alright. And then some people, if you want, you can actually go and pick through that chicken once more to get out a little bit more chicken, and that's usually what I do because it was cold yesterday and it was very, very hard to pick through. But as you can see, I don't know how many, how big this bowl is, but this bowl is very, very large. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out 2-quart jars, and the rest is going to be pints, and I'll show you how I get those filled up to go in the canner. Alright, now this is probably not how everybody does theirs. I like to use a measuring cup. I have like a 2-cup measuring cup here. And I like to just pour that in. I don't like to sit there and ladle this forever. So that's one of the reasons why. Now you're still supposed to leave like the 1-inch head space. Alright. And you can see, well, you can't really see that right there. You can see it there. Look how nice and golden brown that is. I like to call this actually liquid gold. So I'm going to go ahead and fill up this other quart jar. And I have 6 pint jars out here. I don't know for sure if I'll need them all, but I'm going to go ahead and fill those actually in the sink, and I'll bring you back. Alright, as you can see, I did get the 6 pints done. So I'm going to go ahead and clean the rims. Now you guys know I don't do normally a lot of canning here on this channel. I do a lot of canning here in my home, but I don't usually do it online. There are a lot of people who are the canning Nazis, and I just don't really want to be picked apart by someone saying, oh, you didn't do this and you didn't do that. And, you know, I try to do things as safe as possible, what I feel comfortable with as possible, what I've done for as long as possible. I always get a clean rag. I don't use the vinegar anymore. I mean, I know some people do. I am still using the 4-jar lids. There is actually a discount code down below if you wanted to actually buy any. Everything that I've ever used with the 4 jars has sealed unless it's my personal error. But I'm going to go ahead and get the rings and the bands out. I'll be right back. Alright, so I'll go ahead and put the 2 on the wide mouth. And I'll be putting these on the regular mouth ones. And like I said, I mean, one thing about canning this, I mean, most people would probably throw away their bones. But I mean, you've got, I mean, even if you buy Walmart brand, you know, that gets really, really expensive as far as beef broth. And this, pretty much other than the price of canning your jars and your bands and stuff, if you don't already have that, this makes this free. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it is a win-win proposition here. So I really like it. One of my bands fell on the floor. Get the big one. And I'm just putting this on fingertip tight. I'm not, you know, winching this down. That's how, when you put it too hard, that's how your lids get all bent up and stuff. So I'm going to go get out my Presto electric canner, and I will be back. Alright, so I have my jars loaded up in my Presto. I could only fit I cut my finger actually on my thing that holds my phone. I have to put this one actually in the refrigerator, and I'll use that this week. But I can't believe I cut myself. Anywho, so I got this plugged in, and there's the right amount of water in there. And so what you do with this is you have to, I don't know if you're sure if you can see with my hand the other way. Hold on here. This actually does that, so it kind of like makes it easier there. Take that off for a minute. We're going to go ahead and turn this on. Well, it'd be nice if we plugged it in and we could turn it on. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and turn this on. We're going to need 25 minutes. But I'm just going to go up to 30 because. So then what's going to happen is you hold this in. Hold on here. Mark is better at running this than I am. I've only done this a few times. Where you're skipping the warming of the jars. Alright, so that's going to go ahead and start that. Then what happens is then you're going to eventually put on the weight, and it will tell you when the time is done and everything. And then I'll show you what this is looking like when it's done. Meanwhile, after I get my finger to stop bleeding, I'll go get you the chicken from yesterday. Alright, my finger's still bleeding a little bit from the tripod, but I got my glove on, so that's not going to hurt anything. So I was talking to Mark and Heinz a couple weeks ago, because I told you I was looking at, freezing up some of these, and I was just going to use just like the chicken breast or whatever, but the rotisserie chicken automatically already has more flavor than just chicken breast. So I was looking on Gordon Food Services because I was going to place an order there. And I can't remember exactly, but I'll let you know when the pressure cooker's done and how much that was for not very much rotisserie chicken that's cubed and it was pre-frozen and frozen like this, where you could just pick out like the piece that you want. And if I do decide I want to freeze dry some of these, once my freeze dryer is working, I can easily do that also. So I don't know how many pounds is in each bag. And like I said, there's still some chicken over here once that cools off that I can actually go ahead and pull a little bit more chicken off the bones, because like I said, it was so hard to do yesterday that I'm sure will be another at least good handful of chicken. So I will bring you back once the canning is done, and I'll show you what we have going on and tell you how much this would have cost. Obviously I have the cost of the chicken from Sam's Club, my time and energy to debone it and stuff like that, but I'll let you know. So we'll be back. Alright, so the lid came off, everything's fine. So this is what it's looking like when it comes out of the canner. So I was looking actually on the Gordon Food Service, and I don't know for sure if they lowered the price from when we looked or what. I'm definitely going to have to clean these jars. These jars are dirty. Mark was saying that it might be actually cheaper to do it that way, even though it's like $5 and something a pound by the time you go and do it and you slice it and you cook it and I don't know. I have to look into that, but you can hear all these jars sealing. I have that one still in the refrigerator because there wasn't no room in here. And as you can see, let me bring you down just a little bit. My tripod's giving me all sorts of issues today. That's how I cut my finger. But so I don't have a price actually on how much that chicken actually cost with Gordon Food Services. But what's going to happen is this will sit here on the counter for like the 24 hours or so and let that cool down. I'll let this cool down a little bit, the water here inside the canner, and dump that out, wipe it out, get that ready for another time that we can. So you'll have to let me know if you've done any of this. Let me know what you think, and get the comments down below. Thank you very much for stopping by. You have a very blessed and wonderful day.